Fridge Notes, hundreds and hundreds of inspirational thoughts and motivational quotes, written by J.A. Lewis. Cover art by XXX on Unsplash, narrated by Jon Via. Here are hundreds and hundreds of inspirational thoughts and motivational quotes to enjoy, like an extra shot of espresso or simply an unexpected boost during the day. A toast to this everyday miracle that is life. Inspirational thoughts and motivational quotes. How you do anything is how you do everything. Eleanor Roosevelt. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Aristotle. If you are going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill. Life is not supposed to be fair. Jonathan Lockwood Hugh. 3 grand essentials to happiness in this life are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. Joseph Addison. If everyone is thinking alike, then no one is thinking. George S. Patton. Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. Dalai Lama. You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something, sometime in your life. Winston Churchill. Never hold discussions with the monkey when the organ grinder is in the room. Winston Churchill. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Shakespeare. Everyone draws a circle with some particular distortion, and that distorted circle is your circle, an insight into your style. Picasso. The weirder you're going to behave, the more normal you should look. It works in reverse, too. When I see a kid with 3 or 4 rings in his nose, I know there is absolutely nothing extraordinary about that person. P.J. O'Rourke. It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting. Paulo Coelho. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Oscar Wilde. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. Sigmund Freud. Learn from the mistakes of others. You can't live long enough to make them all yourself. Eleanor Roosevelt. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Gandhi. Everyone believes that their beliefs are the right ones. That is why they are called beliefs. Jonathan Lockwood Hugh. Damaged people are dangerous. They know they can survive. Josephine Hart. Don't let a bad day make you feel like you have a bad life. Unknown. If you don't get everything you want, think of the things you don't get that you don't want. Oscar Wilde. Morality, like art, means drawing a line somewhere. Oscar Wilde. I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. Angela Y. Davis. You must do the things you think you cannot do. Eleanor Roosevelt. Listen to the mustn'ts, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never haves. Then listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. Shel Silverstein. If you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain. Dolly Parton. Life is like photography. You need the negatives to develop. Unknown. When I was 5 years old, my mother told me that happiness was the key to life. At school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me I did not understand the assignment. I told them they didn't understand life. John Lennon. Most of us can read the writing on the wall. We just assume it's addressed to someone else. Yvern Ball. Tough times never last, but tough people do. Robert H. Schuller. When you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and hang on. Franklin D. Roosevelt. There is only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. Aristotle. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Leonardo da Vinci. The question isn't who's going to let me. The question is who's going to stop me. Ayn Rand. Every moment is a fresh beginning. T.S. Eliot. The ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that do. Anonymous. I cannot trust a man to control others who cannot control himself. Robert E. Lee. Even the great get greater by doing more of it. Colleen Wainwright. No single drop of water thinks it is responsible for the flood. Unknown. The trouble is, you think you have time. Buddha. It is not only for what we do that we are held responsible, but also for what we do not do. Molière. One should always play fair when one has the winning cards. Oscar Wilde. Don't ever take a fence down until you know why it was put up. Robert Frost. The only way to avoid criticism is to do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. Aristotle. Anyone can hold the helm when the sea is calm. Publius Syrus. What you can do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. Ralph Waldo Emerson. If you don't understand the cause of the problem, your solution will become part of it. Dr. Idel Dramer. Don't compromise yourself. You're all you've got. Janis Joplin. Men talk of killing time, while time quietly kills them. Dion Bouqueault. Think any way you please, but know why. Martin H. Fisher. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for freedom of thought, which they seldom use. Soren Kierkegaard. A single leaf, working alone, provides no shade. Chuck Page. The trick to succeeding is to stop thinking. There is a trick to everything. Robert Brault. Some people have so much self-respect for their superiors that they have none left for themselves. Peter MacArthur. There is only one success: to be able to spend your life in your own way. Christopher Morley. The grass may be greener on the other side, but you still have to mow it. Unknown. Most people never run far enough on their first wind to find out they've got a second wind. William James. Even the best needles are not sharp at both ends. Chinese proverb. Patience is also a form of action. August Rodin. If a mistake is not a stepping stone, it is a mistake. Eli Segal. I don't have to attend every argument I'm invited to. Unknown. Never deprive someone of hope. It may be all they have. Unknown. I have found some of the best reasons I ever had for remaining at the bottom simply by looking at the men at the top. Frank Moore Colby. The trouble with most of us is that we would rather be ruined by praise than saved by criticism. Norman Vincent Peale. Those who do not think outside the box are easily contained. Nicholas Moneta. The trouble with not having a goal is that you can spend your life running up and down the field and never score. Bill Copeland. There is never time to do it right, but there is always time to do it over. Unknown. When the horse is dead, get off. Unknown. Don't waste time learning the tricks of the trade. Instead, learn the trade. James Charlton. No one ever drowned in his own sweat. Ann Landers. The object of education is to prepare the young to educate themselves throughout their lives. Robert Maynard Hutchins. Tomorrow is fresh, with no mistakes in it. L.M. Montgomery. Live every day as if it were going to be your last, for one day you're sure to be right. Harry Harbord. Do not let anyone walk through your mind with their dirty feet. Mahatma Gandhi. Life is rough. If it were smooth, we'd probably slide right through it without noticing. Terry Guillemetz. Every flower must grow through dirt. Proverb. Magic is the total appreciation of chance. Chungyang Trungpa. For every day that there is sunshine, there will also be days of rain. Joey Tolbert. The most courageous act is to still think for yourself. Coco Chanel. Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized for it anyway. Eleanor Roosevelt. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Eleanor Roosevelt. Experience is the name everyone gives to their mistakes. Oscar Wilde. Luck is a dividend of sweat. The more you sweat, the luckier you get. Ray Kroc. Whatever you are, be a good one. Abraham Lincoln. There is more to life than increasing its speed. Gandhi. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. Helen Keller. We see life through the funhouse mirrors of our point of view. Jonathan Lockwood Hugh. It is no use saying we are doing our best. You have got to succeed in doing what is necessary. Winston Churchill. If you have 10,000 regulations, you destroy all respect for the law. Winston Churchill. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Confucius. When you're screwing up and nobody says anything to you anymore, it means they've given up on you. Randy Posh. You can easily judge the character of a man by how he treats those who can do nothing for him. Anonymous. The most common way people give their power is by thinking that they don't have any. Alice Walker. If I work hard enough, There will be things I can do tomorrow that I can't do today. Randy Posh. Every day brings new choices. Martha Beck. It always seems impossible until it is done. Nelson Mandela. Criticism may not be agreeable, but it is necessary. It fulfills the same function as pain in the human body. It calls attention to an unhealthy state of things. Winston Churchill. Just because you're in the driver's seat doesn't mean you have to run people over. Randy Posh. The Last Lecture. It's always too early to quit. Norman Vincent Peale. When I hear somebody say, life is hard, I am always tempted to ask, compared to what? Sidney Harris. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking of yourself less. C.S. Lewis. Not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. Albert Einstein. Not all those equipped with mental knives will always agree on how best to carve the world. Aristotle. Chance favors the prepared mind. Louis Pasteur. Too many people miss the silver lining because they're expecting gold. Maurice Setter. Treat the disease, not the symptom. Randy Posh. The Last Lecture. The most effective way to do it is to do it. Amelia Earhart. Education costs money, but so does ignorance. Sir Claus Moser. It is one thing to submit to an old set of house rules, quite another to enter a house that you yourself have helped to build. Homeric hymn. Doing things is not the same as getting things done. Jared Silver. Most of us spend our lives as if we had another one in the bank. Ben Irwin. Never ruin an apology with an excuse. Kimberly Johnson. If you are not enjoying the journey, you probably won't enjoy the destination. Unknown. The problem with troubleshooting is that trouble shoots back. Unknown. Forgive. Not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Unknown.